Yo, it's your bro Elliott Hulse here, and I'm back with the 6th video in my 7-part series all about the principles of growing stronger, building muscle in the gym, and giving you the tools to allow you to create or modify your program to get the results that you need. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a somewhat controversial topic, which is frequency. And so over the past 30 plus years that I have been lifting, a lot of the ideas around frequency have changed. And some people still hold true to the old ideals, and some people have progressed forward. And I think you'll get results either way, but the schism lies in whether or not we need a lot of frequency, meaning using the same muscles or doing the same exercises multiple times throughout a microcycle. And I typically use the week as a microcycle. In the past, at least for myself and for what I understood and the teachers that taught me how to lift, we want to overload the muscle once a week. Therefore, doing a bench press on Monday, squat on Wednesday, and maybe a deadlift on Friday. And so I had followed that principle and designed programs like that for many, many, many years. But recently, I'd say maybe the past 2 years or so, I've come across lots of new information about protein synthesis and stimulating it by hitting muscles multiple times throughout a week, and in some cases, every day throughout the week, but just in different ways, different intensities, different volume and such. So the idea here is that with multiple touching, multiple stimulation of the muscle throughout the week, we're constantly stimulating protein synthesis, which adds to our ability to grow stronger, right? And protein synthesis, if I could imagine what that looks like, it's the breakdown of the nutrition that we're eating, right? Protein. I could be getting this wrong. And then its integration into the building up process of our muscle. And every time we lift a little bit, right, using these principles, we stimulate that response within the body and build muscle and gain strength. Now, I am a little on the fence because we also have to take in consideration the principle of recovery. Recovery is a legit principle. We don't actually get stronger in the gym, so we don't want to be hitting the same muscles, same intensity, same repetitions every single day, and not giving our body enough time to recover from it. So this principle is a little, I'd say fuzzy, but I found that by hitting the same muscle, but with different exercises in different ways, I sort of get this muscle building or protein synthesis response. What do I mean by that? So for example, I'm a strongman. I do strongman lifts. On Monday, I'm doing deadlifts, right? Where I'm hitting the posterior chain, the glutes, the hamstrings, the low back, also the core. There's a tremendous amount of abdominals that I use to brace when I deadlift. But then on Tuesday, I might do stone lifting, right? And stone lifting is essentially a deadlift, but it's not a deadlift. Using a lot of the same muscles, but it's not a deadlift. So there's that protein synthesis stimulation, targeting those same types of muscles, but in a different way. So I might do high repetition deadlifts and then low repetition, high intensity stone lifting, or even log lifting, because with the log, we got to take it off the ground. And what is that? That's a deadlift. So in terms of frequency, we are using the same muscle multiple times throughout the week, but just hitting it differently, if you will. And by doing so, we honor this idea of protein synthesis, but also we save the nervous system, we save the muscle from burnout. If you find that after a deadlift day, you're just still too fried in your low back to do stones, then you can just move on to something else or change the parameters. But we have to consider frequency. Even if we're not hitting high frequency within a microcycle a week, we would consider from cycle to cycle, right? Week to week. I don't think we can go, and now that I think about it, I remember reading some of the work of Louis Simmons and how he would design his conjugate training routines, and I think he said something like 48 hours is required in order to fully recover a muscle from a lift so that it could be used again in another lift. So you might want to go like every other day in terms of a higher frequency routine, stimulating those muscles with similar exercises. Definitely a principle to consider. A little fuzzy in my definition right here because I think it still is sort of up for grabs, and I think Also, how you choose to live your lifestyle is going to have an impact on the type of frequency you use in a training routine. If you're getting your sleep right, if you're getting your nutrition right, you're getting your outside of the gym recovery right, you may be ready a lot sooner to hit that muscle once again within a microcycle or a macrocycle. So just something to keep in mind. I'm not giving you a hard and fast rule right now because I'm not totally sure, but definitely something that you want to consider, pay attention to, and make concessions for when you're designing your training routine. That's it for this principle. We'll be back for the next principle, the seventh and final principle in this series, which is the principle of tempo. How quickly or how slowly do we move a weight when we're training? See you in the next video. Done.